Let's make it a good day.
Coming up today, the Academy Awards reveal their plans for this year's show. How will it be different? Then, producer Ted on a date with Wendy Williams?
There'd be nothing wrong with that.
Don't laugh, people. It could happen. Then, we love game shows, and a new one is coming to Fox with a familiar host. We're talking live with Jason Biggs. And what are the new etiquette rules for dating in 2021 and dating in a pandemic? Our legendary etiquette queen, Julie France, is back with how to behave on a date. Here we go.
Let's make it a good day. We do it our own way. Let's make it a good day. Oh, no matter what they say. Oh, yeah.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. Hello to Coon Rapids, Richfield, Plymouth, Bloomington, Eagan, Brooklyn Park, Brooklyn Center. That's it. Welcome to the Jason Show. I'm Jace. Please say hello and welcome to my dear friend, my sidekick sister from another mister, the wonderful and talented Kendall Mark.
Hello.
How you doing?
Hello. I'm good.
Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. I was just having a dance party with myself.
I've had several people tell me that they thought yesterday was Thursday, so they feel like today should be Friday. Are you in that group?
I'm always in that group. Let's skip to Friday every day.
I like the Thursdays, though. Because,
Really?
because you have something to look forward to. Am I right, TV friends? Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is a good day. I mean, we just got to get through Thursday, and then we're at Friday, and then I'm at Serums, and then I'm eating chicken wings, and then I'm playing pull tabs. Life is good.
So, I mean, I would say Thursday is my fourth favorite day of the week.
Fourth? There's
Yeah.
only 7 for the love of criminy niddles.
Well, think about it.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, Friday, Saturday, Sunday kind of take the cake. You know
I
what
don't
mean?
enjoy Sundays. I'm just going to say, I don't, you know why? And I
Why?
felt this way since school. Dread. Not that I dread coming to work and seeing you fine people.
I totally thought you were going somewhere else with that.
The whole staff just walked out. But you know, I Sundays are like, oh,
Sunday scaries.
Sunday scaries, yeah.
People get it about work. I feel like you and I get it about waking up. Like
Yeah,
anyone who works
because
the
look, it's
shift.
not about, I'm not whining about work. I'm blessed. I have 2 jobs that I
Right.
love. 4 jobs that I love. I like them all. But it's just the waking up.
Yeah.
You know, that's it. That's
I
it.
agree.
You know what also is scary? Putting
What?
glue in your hair. I've told you guys this. I've been obsessed with Gorilla Glue Girl. Lady. Well, I have good news.
Oh, good.
Overnight, I think while we were sleeping, she was in Beverly Hills. This is not a joke. And she found a plastic surgeon to do a procedure on her that normally costs $12,000. He did it for free. And as we're speaking right now, the glue is out of her hair. Yeah.
Good.
If you don't know the story, a young lady put glue in her hair, put spray glue. She thought it was
Gorilla Glue, too.
Yeah, she thought it was a finishing spray, but and she's been like this for a month. And it was a 4-hour surgery. 4 hours. They had to put her under mild anesthesia.
Yeah.
TMZ has the story. Our good friends at TMZ. Head over there. But yeah.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine how bad your head would itch?
Well,
Honestly,
your poor
like it
scalp.
would just hurt.
Yeah, your whole scalp wouldn't be able to. Yeah, so
Ugh.
it's all done. And again, kids, listen to Auntie Jason. Don't put glue in your hair. Shooting
Or
star,
gum.
the more you know. Or
Yeah.
gum.
Gum.
Yeah, we'll look at this.
And don't just cut your hair on your own. Sorry, Mom.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, speaking of this, the countdown continues Monday and Tuesday. The producers have put together a fun look back at my 20-plus years here at Channel 9. And in celebration, if you go to the Jason Show Instagram account, you'll see today's throwback picture of Jason in 2004 with a very confused-looking Donna Mills from Knots Landing. It's a moment where Jeff tells me Donna was scared. I was starting to scare her.
You were getting really aggressive on your love for her.
I was getting very aggressive on my Knots Landing love and knowledge. I was quoting episodes, which is
That
never a
she
good
couldn't
sign.
remember.
Yeah, the star herself couldn't remember. Yeah, anyway, go to the Jason Show, press like, follow us, and you'll see an embarrassing photo. Okay, Leo, roll it. Let's get to the hot dish, everybody. I'm hungry. Here we go. The format for this year's Academy Awards is starting to take shape. The Academy says the Oscars will be held in person, but in multiple locations, like in Eagan, Coon Rapids. One of those, could you imagine? Let's have it in serums. One of those locations will actually be the Normal Home, the Dolby Theater in Los Angeles. We don't know where the other locations will be or how many people will be at those venues. The Academy moved the Oscars from February to April due to the COVID. My feeling is, why are you even having them to begin with? Movies aren't being released the way that they normally are. Nothing against the movies that are out, but I don't understand. How are you doing this? Don't do a red carpet, please. Because you don't need stars stopping and talking to reporters all up in their grill. And I just don't know. I'm very curious of how they're going to do this.
I always go back to the whole, like, just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Exactly.
Like, just because you can do it in 17 different cities doesn't mean you should confuse all of us, because I don't get it. There's no point.
Just because you can wear a top hat doesn't mean you should wear a top hat.
But that's a little different.
No, hats are rarely a success. But anyway, rarely. Yeah.
Don't
Anyway,
get me started on hats. Yes.
I don't know. I think they should have just not had it this year. Just not had it.
That's so depressing, Jason.
Everything is depressing. Look around, sister.
I know.
Look around. Everything is depressing except this show.
We're very happy.
We're very happy. We're talking about people with glue in their hair. We're getting ready to talk about some controversy in a little bit. But we're going to move to love. You, TV friends, you're going to love this story. Wendy Williams is single and ready to mingle. And she's turning to her co-hosts, which is what she calls her audience, for a little bit of help. Look at this.
But now I'm single, and I tell you, I cast my rod in all the kinds of ponds. I would like to date, sure. And now that we can go out, we can date and sit 6 feet apart and social distance and talk on the phone. And I got a burner phone. And talk on the phone and stuff. And this has nothing to do with the dating app that I'm on, that I have not revealed what the dating app is. But, it has nothing to do with the dating app, and it has nothing to do with who I meet when I walk outside in the street. It has everything to do with you or a man that you know who's watching, okay? Starting today. I want all the single men. You can sign up at wendyshow.com if you would like to have a date with me. Now, what you need to do, you do your homework to decide whether you could put up with me. We are not having...
Floor director Tyler, get off the computer, Tyler. We're still working. That's right, everybody. Single guys, Wendy wants to date you. Guys have to submit just a 30-second video. She wants them to be at least 45 years old and either in New York or capable of flying to New York. Sorry, Tyler, you don't fit any of those qualifications.
Nope.
And she says she will not promote your products on her show.
I love that she's put that caveat in there.
She knows. She has been around the block. She doesn't want some guy that's making some new, disposable ties or something. You know what I mean?
Take it away.
Yeah. She's not going to date anybody that's using this for a promotional opportunity.
That's awesome.
Speaking of that brings us to our show. In case you haven't heard, producer Ted is single and has been for a very long time. How long? Do we know? Do we know how long Ted's been single? Can you guys count? Oh, the crew ran out of hands.
Since the dinosaurs.
Kendall has been firing at Ted all morning long. Anyway, so of course, Ted made a video, an attempt to woo Miss Wendy. I haven't seen this yet. Audience, let's look.
Hi, Wendy. My name is Ted Johnson, and I am the producer of The Jason Show in Minneapolis. We're basically family, right? Not in a creepy way. Why should you date me? Well, I just bought a snowblower. I usually cook. Very good. I have an exercise bike. I get my hair cut once every 3 weeks. So clearly I take care of myself. I'm put together. Call me. I think we'll have a good time.
I like that he uses bathing and brushing his hair as, just common things that we should all do as selling points.
Yeah, he's got a snowblower.
He has a snowblower, which I'm sure Wendy will love. Yeah, for her home in New Jersey, where I'm sure she has people that snowblow. But yeah. There's a couple things.
Please.
There's a couple things going up against Ted.
Okay.
He's not 45. No.
Unfortunately,
He does not live in New York.
No, not that either.
And I don't think our boss, Mim, would allow him to fly to New York with any regularity.
No, probably not.
I
No.
could be wrong. I could call her right now and see. Let me call her right now.
Okay.
Let me call my boss, Mim, and just see what's happening here.
I like how he took back out the chopper that the women of our show really liked. I mean, he definitely put that one in there just to show her.
Stand by. I'm
what he
calling
got.
Mim. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. We're going to see if she would allow Ted to date Wendy Williams.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, okay. Grace, you're on live. Don't cuss or anything. We're doing a story about producer Ted submitting a dating video to Wendy Williams. If she picks Ted, will you give him permission to fly on a regular basis to, in fact, see Wendy Williams?
I'm sorry, new phone. Who dis?
Mim for the win, everybody. That's my boss of 20 plus years. We'll be right back after this, everybody. Oh my goodness. Coming up next, Dax Holt is here with the skinny on his interview with one of my favorite pop culture icons, 90s sensation Paulie Shore. Is the son-in-law star framing a comeback? Then I love a good game show with a good host. Jason Biggs will join me with a preview of his new game show coming to the FOX. And how to behave on a date in a pandemic. The new dating etiquette rules you need to know from the woman who knows. Etiquette expert, Julie France. That and more when we return.
No one in the house, massive lockdown. And I was like, okay, what do we do? We got kids. It was one of those weird, nobody knew it. And my husband's from Iowa, and we had this patch of dirt, and we looked at it, and we were like, we have time to plant some corn. And he was like, let's just do it. And so we planted a pretty good sized lot of corn. Everybody was like, you guys, it's LA, you're not gonna grow any corn, the soil, the weather. And we were like, whatever, it's corn. What do we do? We have nothing else to do. Every single stalk we had hundreds and hundreds of ears of corn. We didn't know what to do. We were giving them away. Look at this, that's nothing.
Your crop, your harvest.
That's like one 1/100th of what we had.
Really?
We had so much corn. And here's the thing. We're in a pandemic. We can't do a barbecue. We can't have like a people over for like a pool party. We was just stuck eating corn. We had corn for breakfast. We had corn for lunch. We had corn. My kids are now made of corn.
I love her. I love Mila Kunis. I want to see her in more stuff.
Mm-hmm. We
Yeah.
were just saying that.
Yeah.
She's so good.
I know. Put her in more stuff.
I would love. She's one of those people you think of like 5 or 6 celebrities that you're like, I could go hang out with them and it'd be really fun.
She's one of them.
Yeah, for sure.
I love corn.
Oh.
I could just eat corn. I'm with Mila. I should go to her house. I loves me some sweet corn.
It's true.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to make people hungry, but yeah.
I love creamed corn in the can. So gross. So good.
Ugh.
So good.
Next in the dish. I'm getting the visual. Hey, I told you there's some drama today. There's a lot of drama rolling around, even in the entertainment world. One of the actresses from The Mandalorian is out after some, let's put it this way, questionable social media behavior. Gina Carano will not return to the Disney Plus show after she shared a Twitter post, and Instagram too, that implied being a Republican today is like being Jewish during the Holocaust. Lucasfilm called her post abhorrent and unacceptable and says they will not be bringing her back on the show. In December, Disney had planned to announce a spinoff starring her, but scrapped those plans after she tweeted conspiracies about the pandemic and misinformation about the election. Now they've cut the ties altogether, and within the last 7 hours, her agency dropped her as well. Here, we stay clear normally of controversial stuff like this because we're a happy show, but this is entertainment, so that's why we're covering it. I have just a few things I want to say on this. I know that the term cancel culture is being used a lot lately, sometimes accurately, and sometimes people are just painting a broad brush on everything. I don't think this is an example of cancel culture. This is an example of consequence culture, a consequence culture, because here's the deal, and I'll use me as an example. She works for a private company. She works for Disney. She works for Lucasfilm. I myself, all of us standing in this room, we work for a private company. I work for Fox, and I also work for Hubbard Broadcasting. We all have contracts where we can't post certain things on social media. I can't even put a link to a political candidate that I may or may not support. I could get in trouble for that. I would certainly get in trouble for a post and a photo, and I'll let the photo speak for itself, which I personally think is worse. I could never, if I posted what Miss Gina posted, I would be fired immediately. That leads to my second point of second chances. I'm a guy that believes in second chances. I believe in redemption. I believe in allowing people the right to apologize. But looking back, as we said in the story right there, she's had a few chances. She's been warned that her social media activity, according to the private company she works for, is questionable. And also my third point, and I think my most important one is, let me be blunt, can we just stop using the Holocaust as a comparative measuring stick for anything? It is offensive. And will we ever learn? It's not appropriate. And it's certainly not appropriate to post the picture that she posted and compare it to another event, another perceived irregularity or a perceived grievance. It's just not right.
Amen.
That's what I want to say. Look, you may agree with her, and I don't like cancel culture. You watch this show, you know I don't agree with it because people make mistakes. I will inevitably, and I have on this broadcast, I will say something that I don't mean from my heart, but I could be called out for it. I believe in second chances. In this case, it seems like she's had a few chances.
Yeah, I mean, it does sound like that with, she's had some things with masks. She's had some things with the, when you put in your profile, your preferred pronouns.
Yeah.
She's had some controversy with that. So it does sound like there have been several things that then led up to this. And now it's just, we're just done.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Next in the dish, another celebrity stepping in it. We'll pull this out of the stepping in it news file. Chris Harrison from The Bachelor is also doing some damage control this morning. Here's the deal, my friends. It revolves around frontrunner Rachel. Social media posts have resurfaced showing racially insensitive behavior, including attending a plantation-themed frat party in 2018. That's just a few years ago. And liking posts containing the Confederate flag. She has not commented, nor has the show. So this week on Extra, former Bachelorette Rachel Lindsay pressed Chris Harrison on this. And this is how he responded. Look.
I saw a picture of her at a sorority party 5 years ago, and that's it. Like, boom, like, okay, well, this girl is in this book now, and she's now in this group. And I'm like, really? Okay, well, there goes.
The picture was from 2018 at an Old South antebellum party. So I think, when you
hold that under the lens,
it's not a good look.
No, it's not a good. Well, Rachel, is it a good look in 2018 or is it not a good look in 2021?
It's
because
not
there's
a
big
good
difference.
look ever, because she's celebrating the Old South. If I went to that party, what would I represent at that party?
Chris is usually pretty careful with his words. Last night on Instagram, he responded, "To my Bachelor Nation family, I will always own a mistake when I make one, so I'm here to extend a sincere apology. I took a stance on topics about which I should have been better informed. I also apologize to Rachel Lindsay for not listening." That's the key there, for not listening to her better on a topic that she has firsthand understanding of. I promise to do better. I think people should accept his apology because that's my problem with this. The white guy shouldn't be mansplaining to the black woman about this issue. Period. End of sentence. Just saying. Just saying. I don't care how you feel about everything else. That's a topic she knows. It'd be like somebody telling me about being bullied as a gay guy and they're, and they've not lived that experience.
And it's me.
Yeah. Don't talk unless you know it.
Right.
Don't mansplain to me about that experience, that life experience. That's my problem. But let me refer to the Gina story. Chris has apologized. He's owned it. And I think, just like Maya Angelou says, when you know better, you do better. Chris will do better. I think he's a good guy. I think fundamentally Chris Harrison's a good guy. Your thought?
Well, I think he should have, when he said the thing about listening, when we stopped the quote that we just showed everyone where she said, "What would I have represented?" That would have been a good moment to just go, "Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, you're right."
Yeah.
And it kept going. And Chris has been so good about his image for so many years because the Bachelor franchise means a lot to him and a lot of people. So for him to be that defensive is interesting to me.
Our hot dish continues with our Inside Into the Stars. Please welcome back to the show the co-host of the Hollywood Raw podcast, our good friend Dax Holt. Hello, Dax.
Hello, buddy. How you doing today?
Oh, I'm always excited to see you. You're like a legit friend of mine. I love having you here, but I'm very excited for the show today because you had one of my favorites. You had Paulie Shore on the show. Go ahead and talk to us. Tell me everything.
It was awesome. It was a great, fantastic get for the Hollywood Raw podcast. But you know what? I really felt as I was listening to Paulie talk, I mean, we were asking him everything, all about his big movies that he was in, his 90s career, today and age, everything. And he really opened up for us. I felt like I got to see like a different side of Paulie. He wasn't just goofy the whole time. He had his moments where the weasel came out. But I would say that he was really honest and raw. And, we got into a topic like he started telling us how his mother never said she loved him. And that I know I was kind of shocked, and he kind of brought this up, but he said that she was really doing it to groom him to be a comedian, because they obviously own the Comedy Store. That was his
Mitzi
mother's
Shore,
establishment.
Youngins, if you don't know, his mom's legendary too, Mitzi Shore.
Yep, exactly. And he said that she never said I love you, so that he would crave that love or that attention from the crowd and the audience. And I'm like, well, what if he didn't grow up to be a comedian? Then he just had no love in his life. And he honestly said that he struggles a lot with accepting love from fans, from people in his life. He's like, I think that's why I've never gotten married, because I don't know how to accept love. And he said that, his mom was very proud of him. And she, as he got older and more successful, he could see that she, she was kind of like, my job here is done. But to me, it like broke my heart hearing that Paulie Shore doesn't know how to accept love in his life.
Do you think there's going to be a comeback? Did he give you a hint that he wants a comeback?
He's working hard. I think he's the most vulnerable he's ever been. And I think the more he puts that side of him out, the more that people are accepting, and the critics are, saying, okay, Paulie is really talented, because you got to remember the critics kind of destroyed him after like Biodome and all of that. His career disappeared for a long time, and he admits that. He goes, it was really hard to go from being so famous and so, all over the place to just kind of non-existent.
I love it. I can't wait. I don't want to say anything more because I want people to listen. I will be doing it as soon as the show's over. Thank you, Dax.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you. Find the Hollywood Raw podcast wherever you get your podcasts, like at Sam Goody or B. Dalton. Still ahead, everybody, the etiquette expert Julie France will join us to talk about love and manners. But next, he starred in American Pie, but now he's hosting a new game show on Fox. Jason Biggs will join us with a preview of what this show is all about when we come back. Back in a moment. Jason Biggs coming up a little bit later in the show. Meanwhile, welcome back. I love when this happens. I rinse and repeat. I say it a lot. I love the fact that our show is live. Because you never know what's going to happen. Like I called my boss earlier.
Right.
By the way, I'm probably fired from that. But hey, it was worth it. It was a good bit. Yeah. But also, we have breaking news that broke earlier this morning. Yes. Taylor Swift, girl. She is out. She's already released 87 albums this year. And she just made an announcement on the Good Morning of America. Can you explain it to the people what she's doing?
So it sounds like you all remember what happened with Scooter Braun and how owning of the music rights. We went really in depth in this. You can Google it if you don't remember.
Yeah.
So she's been re-recording some of her big hits, right? So apparently she's re-recorded, I think, her album Fearless. There's going to be new tracks, from my understanding. There's new imagery that comes with it, because Taylor's really big on what her cover photo is, and like back when you had CDs and you would open it and see all these photos.
Yeah.
She's really big on that. So she did new photos. It's a really big deal for her fans, because that's where they're going to want to listen to the music, since they are pro Taylor and anything she says and does. Plus, if she's releasing new music, are you kidding me? She's, I think, 2 albums already in 2020.
That's crazy.
I mean, I'm not Kenny,
like
intern Kenny level, fan of Taylor Swift, but I love her. But this is a really big deal.
Yeah. I think it's great. I mean, we all, again, we need something.
Right.
We need something to help us escape. We need fun entertainment. Taylor, go ahead and release 47 albums. I don't care.
Why not? And they're always, okay, I don't want the emails, but they're always good.
They are. No, you don't have to worry about that. Yeah.
I really like her.
Next, speaking of entertainment, a little programming note. Tomorrow, I will be giving you a review of the brand new movie, Bourbon Star, Go to Vista Del Mar. Now, yesterday I had the chance to review Kristen Wiig's new movie that she is in with the co-writer of Bridesmaids, who is playing Barb. Kristen plays Star, as in Starbra. I watched it last night. I will have my review. All I will say is this. It's the movie we need during a pandemic.
Really?
My review tomorrow. Right now, though, our next guest became a household name back in 1999. Ooh, child, we're the same age, so that just, oof. When he made us, made all of America look a little differently at pies. Thanks to his role in American Pie, 2 decades later, Jason Biggs has moved on to cherries. Here's a clip from the new Fox show, Cherries Wild.
You need to get 5 wild cherries to win $250,000.
February 14th, join host Jason Biggs as teams of 2 answer pop trivia questions.
Halle Berry was named after a department store.
It's a fact. To earn spins to play TV's largest slot machine and win the sweetest prize. $50,000! Cherries Wild special event.
Cherries Wild, a new game show debuting on Fox on Sunday night. The show is hosted by our next guest. Please welcome Jason Biggs. Good morning, Jason.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm great. It's fun. It's always great to interview someone that has the exact same name, so it's easy to, remember the person. But, buddy, what is this? I was looking at the format. I love a good game show. What is the format? Tell me how to play this.
Yeah, sure. So Cherries Wild. What we have is we have a team of 2 contestants come on working together. They'll play a couple rounds of pop culture trivia. They can win money, they can win wild cherries, and they can win free spins to use on this giant slot machine in the final round of the show. And so you can win up to $250,000 if you find all 5 wild cherries, but you can win any amount up to that. And it's from Fox and it's from Pepsi, their wild cherry brand. So it's big and beautiful and fun and high energy, and yours truly got to host. I don't know how I got lucky in this crazy time, and I was able to give away lots of money. It was a great way to spend a little bit of this crazy year.
Well, and that leads me to my other question. Whether it's Drew Carey or Jimmy Kimmel or Snoop Dogg, everybody that has multiple layers of career in the entertainment industry, they always say that hosting a game show is way more fun than they thought. Are you finding that?
Yes. Although I will say, I thought it would be a lot of fun. I've been a game show fan since I was a little kid, and I feel like we're in kind of a golden age of game shows again, where they're having an amazing resurgence, and so I watch a lot of them, and when this came along, I was like, that is a fun show, and I would love to host it. But yeah, it was so much fun. It's interesting. Hosting is you're kind of a conductor up there. You've got to engage with the contestants. You got to engage with the audience at home. You also need to deal with the rules and the gameplay, and hopefully have a sense of humor. And it was just really, it kept me on my toes. It was really a lot of fun, and yeah, I hope we get to make more of them.
You and I grew up basically with the same game show, so I know what you mean. Don't you think, as a fellow fan, I say this a lot, the best game shows always have the simplest concept, like Wheel of Fortune. It's a wheel with hangman. Don't you think that's the secret to any good game show success?
I think you nailed it on the head. I think that's absolutely right. I think ultimately it's the contestants. I feel like that is the audience, that is who people at home are relating to, and hoping that they could be, and perhaps they're playing along at home. And so yeah, everything else is all kind of fun and noise and everything, but if you can connect to those contestants in a very simple sort of format, I think that's the key to success. I do agree. Yeah.
I can't wait to watch. Jason, thank you so much for your time. Cherries Wild airs Sunday on Fox. If you're watching us from our other markets, check your local listings, as we say. I do. I love a good. Joker's Wild and Card Sharks and all. Well, now they're all back. It used to be talking about them in the past, but press your luck now that every one of them.
Yeah.
They brought back every one of them from the dead.
It looks fun, like very Vegas-esque.
Yeah.
I like that.
My mom will love it. My mom loves a good old-fashioned slot machine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she doesn't like the fancy computer ones. Dar wants to see the wheels.
And she wants to pull the thing.
She wants and she doesn't need the computer crap where like a mouse comes down and dances. She just needs, Joker.
Mm-hmm.
I am my mother's son. Still ahead, everybody. We'll be on our best behavior because guess what? Julie France is back. She's going to talk about proper relationship and dating etiquette when we return. Back in a moment. Mind your manners, everybody. Julie's in the house. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Love is in the air, and when you've been married for a while, it can be easy to forget your manners. Not for me. I'm a joy to live with. Kendall, I'm sorry, was there a problem? Please welcome back to the show our etiquette expert from the St. Paul Hotel, the lovely Julie France. Good morning. Welcome back, Julie.
Good morning, and welcome from chilly Forest Lake, a minus 13 out here today.
Well, Julie, let me start. You know me. I try to start with a compliment if I know the guest, and I know you. You have the reputation around here that you walk the walk and you talk the talk, because I need our viewers to know Julie is the only guest that at the conclusion of every one of her segments sends us a thank you card to the staff. And that means a lot to me because the staff works hard. And sometimes we get people on the show that don't appreciate the work that they do and the value of our show. You are not one of them, and that means a great deal to me. So thank you.
You are welcome, and you'll probably get another note.
Perfect. Jeff is waiting for it, actually. So, okay, couples. Let's get to couples and relationships first. Sure. Let me ask you one of the questions here. How do you divide household chores and childcare in a productive way, a constructive way?
They need to be divided somewhat equally, and that will look different for every couple. Now, if you need to literally make a list of all the things to do, and then sometimes I'll look at my husband Gary and say, what would you like to do? And then you try to divide them equally. Never should your house look like this, where one person is running around crazy trying to do all these things, and the other one is lounging with a remote control, not a care in the world. Our response should always be, you look busy. How can I help you? And again, try to divide it. Now, I just want to say this also. When Gary and I decided that we would start a family, we sat down and we talked, and we both came to the same decision that I would stay at home and he would go to work. Now, because I stayed at home, my goal was to try to do as much as I could in taking care of the children, the house, other obligations, that when Gary came home, he could enjoy his family. And might I say, that worked well for many, many years. It's all based on consideration and respect. Okay. You are a team.
Now, but let me ask you this. Okay, so let me flip that. Here's a little add-on to that scenario. How do you, in a very eloquent and not kind of witchy way, what do you say to that spouse that routinely is the spouse on the couch with the remote while you're busy? How do you address that spouse?
You do need to address it. That's called an elephant in the room. And if you don't take care of those little areas that are causing stress within you and you keep pushing them down, they will explode. And can I tell you, it is better to deal with those right at the get-go than let them build up. And so here's what we can do. It's called conflict resolution. When you are not angry so that you will explode and say things that you will regret, because again, we cannot take words back. It's just like toothpaste. Once you squeeze it out, there's no putting the toothpaste back. Once you say mean, unkind things, you can't take them back. So you need to be calm. And you need to say, can we sit down in about an hour and discuss some things? And then you use I words. I'm feeling overwhelmed. I'm feeling like I can't keep up with it. And then you let them talk and you try to come to a resolution. Now, there are some marriages where people just can't see it. And so you might need to go visit a counselor.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. That's a good thing. Going to a counselor is much more inexpensive than a divorce lawyer.
You heard it here. So we covered etiquette for just a little bit for couples in a relationship, but after the break, etiquette for dating. More with our dear friend Julie when we come back. Back in a moment, everyone. And right about now, she's writing that thank you card. Oh, my goodness. We sure do have fun here. Welcome back. We're with etiquette expert from the St. Paul Hotel, our good friend Julie France, who Julie, I can't wait to have you back when we can have people in the studio. You're one of my favorites. I just miss you terribly. So thank you.
I look forward to it.
Okay, let's talk about couples who are dating, dating rules for 2021. Let's start with this one. Julie, in 2021, who asks who out, and then who should pay?
Anyone can ask anyone out. That's certainly one of the rules that have changed since I grew up. And then if you are the one that has planned the date, you will pay. It's just as if I was asking another couple out. Be very careful how you word it. But in dating, if you're asking somebody out and you've got something planned, then the first date, you are obligated to pick up the tab. After that, you can certainly negotiate depending upon how it goes, but initially you should pay.
Okay, I think we are in a culture that has a hard time saying no. I think we are taught, I think a lot of us, like, oh, go say goodbye, go hug Uncle Joe. Well, I don't want to, he's creepy. I think we have a hard time saying no. On that, how do we politely decline an invite for a date?
Thank you so much for asking, but I have other plans. And if I don't follow that up by saying, but I'm available next Friday or Saturday, that means I am not interested. But I have not attacked their character. I have not looked at them and said, who do you think you are? Are you kidding me? We are never rude or unkind. It took a lot of courage for that person to ask. And so just be kind and just simply say, thanks for asking, but I have other plans.
You hear that, Wendy Williams? Anyway, a companion question to that. How do you end a relationship? I know, and let me acknowledge, this is there's a lot of variables. This is a very general question, but what are the general parameters for etiquette?
General rules are you should meet in person. Very unkind to send a text, email, too impersonal. If you have had a relationship with this person, they deserve to see you face to face. Be careful the place you choose so that if the person does become distraught, they won't be embarrassed. But again, you want to have a safe environment where they can kind of unleash their feelings. Do not attack the person. Don't go through a litany of lists of things that bugged you about them. That's not necessary. You can just say something very kind to say, I don't think that our lives are moving in the same direction. I've enjoyed the time with you, but I just don't feel like we should be moving forward. Be kind and then follow through. Don't keep that person dangling. If you're going to end it, then end it.
And don't you think, and this sounds like something very Oprah and very woo-woo and greeting card, but there's a way to look at it too, and I just had this conversation with a friend of mine. Every relationship is really, even if it ends and it doesn't end quite so well, it's still a learning opportunity, right, for Julie, right, for future relationships. You can take the lessons from that relationship and apply them to a future relationship and hopefully have better luck. Am I right on that?
Absolutely. And look at it like this. You have met another human being, a one-of-a-kind person. And as you said, Jason, you take away things that relationship gave you and build it for, well, it's refining now what I'm really looking for.
We're talking about the endings. Let's talk about the beginnings. What, in your opinion, in 2021, what are some good first date options, especially in the year we're living in now?
Well, first of all, I have to say this is interesting as I prepared for your show. Of course, online dating sites have received record amounts of people, and it's causing people to communicate more rather than just, meeting somewhere and moving on to other things. It's causing them to communicate more. And so once they have the talk about where are you as far as your comfort with COVID, then you can decide what the next place is that you want to meet. Now, again, just because I do work there and I love the hotel, I will tell you afternoon tea at the St. Paul Hotel would be my first pick if you're going out on a date. It's classy, it's elegant, it's a public place, it's 2 hours. Don't ever do a first date that's a day long, because if things are going south early on, you're stuck for a very long time. So you want a limited amount of time. That's the St. Paul Hotel afternoon tea. All the decisions have been made. You're going to be served. You can just have conversation. That's how you get to know somebody. And please put that stupid phone away and don't look at it.
Atta girl. See, I knew the Julie would come out that we love. Julie, my last question. I don't know if you heard this at the beginning of the show, but producer Ted's getting ready to ask out Wendy Williams on a date.
I was watching.
Okay, what is your advice for Ted, who is successful in his own right, but he's getting ready to ask out a woman, a very accomplished woman that he could be intimidated by? What is your advice for young Ted?
Ted, do not be intimidated. You've got it all going on. You got the snowblower, you got the veggie machine. She'll be all over you, Ted.
Julie, did you have to mention the veggie machine? Because it's only gonna encourage this behavior.
As a fellow cook, I got a kick out of that.
Yeah, we all did, Julie. Julie, thank you so much. It's always a delight having you.
Thank you so much. Good to see you.
Good to see you. To learn more about Julie, check out her website, everydayetiquette.com. And for more on etiquette and classes and other events, it's a jewel of St. Paul, the St. Paul Hotel. Go to stpaulhotel.com. As we say, support local. Go support Julie. We're going to take a break. We'll be back right after this. I literally just ran back to the desk. I won't bother telling you why. Welcome back. Hey, don't forget to sign up and be a part of our virtual audience. Go to the Jason Show Facebook page, Jason Show TV. Click the link we posted. Sign up for a certain day, and you'll be a part of the show, cowboys. I'm speaking like John Wayne for no apparent reason. Okay, here we go. Here's our bubblegum question of the day.
Hope it's good.
If you weren't on TV, what job would you want? The answer when we return. Back in a moment. Welcome back. Bubblegum goodbye question. If you weren't on television, you didn't have the current job, what job would you want? What would you want to do? Kendall?
My dream growing up was to be like a music, like a be Britney.
Yeah.
You know, you wanted to do that. I love music, I love dancing, I love performing. Realistically, what I would really like to do if this doesn't work out for whatever reason, interior designing, but I want to flip homes in a eco-friendly, vintage usage way. So it's cost effective, plus you're not using new materials, you're going and finding things vintage.
I like that.
Yeah, I mean,
that's thoughtful.
That's my thought.
Yeah.
You?
Well, I've said it before. I would probably have been a teacher, but I always knew I'm blessed. I always knew what I wanted to do. But now that I've had this dream, and not that I want it to go away, I would, and I already do own one, but I have a lot of restaurant concept ideas in my head, and I would like to just own a series of restaurants and then move to Florida and retire. I would like to, when I do retire, I'm not kidding, I will go to either the Keys or Palm Springs, and I just want to be a bartender at a cool bar. Where you can leave your job at the end of your shift, and that's probably what I'll do in my retirement. Just do that. But I would like to own a series of bars and restaurants. Like I have a concept in my head right now that I'm dying to do.
Is it a tiki bar?
No, it's a concept that I think people would love, but I have a bar idea that I want to do so bad. But yeah.
Really? I'll come work for you.
Will you?
Again. Yeah.
Aww.
I'm a good bartender.
See, what would Kendall do?
I'm a good bartender.
I'm thinking hostess. Thinking smoking, non-smoking?
Excuse me, I'm a good bartender.
Do they even have smoking sections anymore? They don't, do they? No, they don't. What?
I'm a good bartender.
Okay, fine, you can be bartender for a couple
shifts. I got my way
shifts.
through college through bartending.
Didn't we all? Yeah. Red Lobster, Claw. Beep, beep, beep. Tomorrow on the show, the deal guy, Matt Granite, will join us with some of his favorite fast food hacks, speaking of food. Plus, producer Ted, soon to be Mr. Wendy Williams, heads to, we're not kidding, Ted went to photographer Eric's house and went inside Eric's handmade real-life igloo. Only here. You're not going to find this on Care 11. That's going to do it for us. If you're watching and you're a kid that's being bullied, I want you to go out there and be yourself because nobody can tell you're doing it wrong, right? Right. We'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Thanks for watching.